Hi Jordan and Jake, thanks for agreeing to be interviewed by us. We believe you've just come back from a year in Guyana, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a wee bit about your experience, what you were doing there and who you worked with?
Yeah. We were there for 12 months teaching in a primary school then in Cato,
Okay.
which is near the central region of Guyana,
Right.
with the organisation Project Trust. Yeah, it was a fantastic experience. Absolutely brilliant.
Great. What were you teaching? Was it mainly English?
We were teaching primary school kids.
Okay.
We taught them all the subjects. So
Oh,
I was
right.
teaching 10-year-olds and he was teaching
8-year-olds.
Right. And how many pupils did you have in the
Not
class?
many at all. I had 10 students in my class.
Right.
So yeah, same thing really. Yeah.
And were you
Small
responsible for sort of organising the day? Were you just
Yeah.
kind of given
Yeah.
free scope to
We
really
had,
go on
we
with
had
it?
10 kids from 9 till 3. That was our job.
Did you find that quite a challenge, or?
At first it was a challenge, but you get into these things, and within the first month or so we were just as if it was normal. Yeah.
Great. How did the kids respond to you?
Oh, brilliant!
Really well.
They were really excited to have the first white teachers there in the community.
Right, brilliant.
And, yeah, to have them teaching their class was special for them. Yeah, it's brilliant.
And what about communication? Did you find communication difficult? Did most of them understand English?
Yeah. The English is nearly the first spoken language, but for maybe 6 out of 10 kids in my class, they spoke Patamona as a first language.
Oh, right, okay.
So it was a bit of a problem really, and even the ones that spoke English would speak Creeley's English, which makes teaching English more difficult.
It's a different language in itself.
Yeah,
really,
because
right?
they pronounce stuff quite differently. So yeah, communication is definitely a bit of a problem.
So did they find you difficult to understand in English as well?
For what do you reckon, first 2 weeks? Maybe a month?
Oh, it was a while.
It was a while, I think.
Until our English gradually got worse, and then they could understand us.
Did you pick up any of their Patamona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of have to really. That's the way you get into the community.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, then I don't know.
I would say that's the single best thing we did to integrate in the community was learn their language.
Right.
Yeah.
What benefits did that have for you, knowing some of their language?
Just it was almost just because we showed the effort to understand their culture and their language, and they're like, actually, yeah, these boys are like us. They speak our language, and they're not from a foreign country. They're us. Yeah.
Right. So it built up.
You weren't just the white guys. You were the guys who kind of almost Amerindians is like the way to think about it.
So it's all about respecting their culture and then respecting your culture as well.
And
So
the thing is, if you show interest in their culture, they'll show a lot in yours as well. And all of a sudden you've made a friend.
yeah.
Not friends with everyone.
Not only that though, it was useful. There was Patamona people in Brazil.
All right. Okay.
When we went across to Brazil, neither of us can speak Portuguese. So we used Patamona to find our way back to Guyana.
Wow. How did people in Brazil respond to you?
Speaking
Patamona? Were they?
They thought it was mental. Didn't know what was going on.
That's incredible. That is absolutely unbelievable. And when you were at school yourself, did you study any foreign languages at school?
Welsh.
Welsh.
yeah. Welsh. But I never really had much interest in languages at school. I couldn't see the application of it. And then going to a place now and realising how beneficial it was to us by learning their language, then it's definitely encouraged me now to take. I'm doing a language course, like an additional course in language in university now because of it.
All right. So what were you going to do as your main subject for your degree?
Engineering.
Engineering. And you think having a language will open up other doors to you and other opportunities?
No, definitely will. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super.
It's a guarantee.
Yeah, I didn't think that before the start of the year. Like I did French up till standard grade till I was 16, and I cheated in every test. To be honest, I really hated it. I detested French. It was just learning languages in the classroom when you don't understand why it's useful. Your brain just doesn't work. Or at least mine doesn't. It just refuses to learn stuff.
Right.
As soon as you're in a community where you've got a choice, but there's people talking it around you, it's all of a sudden it's fun to learn and you can pick it up fast. It makes such a big difference.
So do you think there's people really need to sit down and think long and hard about how languages are taught in school? Is that the kind of message?
The only thing that I think would have worked for me when I was in school is if someone had thrown me in a room with someone who could only speak French.
Right.
and it left me there for a little bit. And when I had to work out sign language, I suddenly realised that I needed to be able to speak to people who can't speak English.
But, you know, they say once you learn one language, they say it's easier to learn the rest. Or they have like an expression like that. I think it's because you're encouraged to learn the rest, because all of a sudden you've opened up this whole new opportunity for yourself.
Yeah.
And you realise the purpose of the language, so you're just like, yeah, I'm definitely encouraged, and you learn a lot faster once you're enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, I think, you know, we know that as well. It's all about transferable skills. You learn one language, you start to make connections with another language, even though the two languages are not necessarily connected.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, that's great. So, thanks very much. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.